bring us back up. So we getting ready to go live. We are getting ready to go live. Okay.
Hey
Hello?
Shirley. Hey Shirley, we're getting ready to go
Okay.
live on our
Okay.
broadcast.
We live now.
Okay. We'll put it on mute.
Yes.
We're live. Okay. So it's me and you now. So
Okay.
first of all, let me kind of, first of all, thank you for agreeing to come on and to talk about such a difficult subject for many people. And as behind the scenes, both you and Jackie were talking about, and really y'all's discussion really, enlightened me because what you're going to share on tonight is a very powerful thing. So remember that you have 30 minutes to talk about this subject. And then
Hmm.
I'll be asking questions and interjecting at different points. But we're going to get through
Hmm.
it because this is something that you're very passionate about. And I'm very excited about you being on here to share this. So, with that said, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can.
Um, Hi everybody. My name is Chrystal Beard. I am 54 years old and I suffer with agitated major depression, agoraphobia, and I have a lot of bipolar and schizophrenia. I wanted to come on the podcast to speak on this subject because a lot of times I find myself by myself because a lot of people don't understand me.
Okay.
Uh, One thing about this disease is that you can be very, very turned around at the drop of a hat by something that somebody said.
Okay.
That's something negative, you know, and you're thinking everything is positive, everything is going good, and then they hit you with something negative.
Okay.
And negativity is something that is absolutely not needed to be in any conversation that a person that suffers with depression has because you don't know if they are suicidal. You don't
Mm-hmm.
know what a breaking point is or
Yes.
anything. So you have to be kind of delicate when you approach me. You
Okay.
know, uh, I love hard.
Mm-hmm.
When I befriend someone,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a true friend.
Okay.
But a lot of times I get hurt and I have to realize that people are different.
Yes.
They have different personalities and everything. And I have to continue to be who I am,
Yes.
who God made me.
Uh-huh.
Um, I first started off, my mother told me that she knew that something was going on with me when I was small and we were in the backyard and
Mm.
I had a big bird,
Uh-huh.
stuffed big bird.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got agitated, real agitated, and I hung him.
Okay.
I hung him on the swing.
Mm.
So when she looked out the back window and she saw what was going on, her and her dad, my dad called me in and asked me what was going on. And
Mm-hmm.
I just told him I got mad at Big Bird, you know.
Uh-huh.
I got mad at and I don't want to see Big Bird anymore, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, a light bulb went up in their head, but
Uh-huh.
it was kind of pushed to the side.
Okay.
Uh, by being pushed to the side, years went on,
Uh-huh.
and I had some things that happened to me where I was got hurt by
Okay.
my child, and he kicked me in my eye with a steel toe boot
Mm.
and messed with some nerves in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got tardive dyskinesia from all of the medication.
Okay.
Tardive dyskinesia is a side effect that you get,
Uh-huh.
not only from psych med, but
Uh-huh.
from other medications
Oh.
also. Mine is rocking. I rock
Mm-hmm.
from side to side, or I might bite the inside of my jaw,
Okay.
or I might just fiddle with my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I know this is because my doctor showed me a video of me
Okay.
in his office,
Okay.
and this is what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that I was doing it or whatever, and
Mm.
by him showing me that this is what I do, and that this is what I do almost every session, I started praying to God to just relieve some of this off of me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I later went on to have a some female problem,
Okay.
and they put me on Prozac.
Okay.
Uh, Prozac took me into a whole different era in my
Okay.
brain.
Mm-hmm.
So they took me off of the Prozac. But one thing about it, when you going into the clinics and seeing a psychologist, they have to do things and try different medications on you until they can get you on a regimen that helps you.
Yes.
Um, now, right now, I am on olanzapine,
Mm-hmm.
sertraline, uh, hydroxyzine,
Okay.
um, gabapentin 600.
Okay.
Yes, and that this is from my site that I get the gabapentin.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I'm on cogenin, which is a side effect medication,
Okay.
um, and alprazolam, which is Xanax.
All right.
So I have a lot on my plate,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to really make uh, every feeling that I have
Uh-huh.
to take something.
So you
I have to
trying
take
to
something from
you
in order for me to learn. If I have to write it, a lot of things I have to write down, because if
okay.
I'm looking at it on a piece of paper, it'll sound better to me.
Okay.
Or if somebody is telling me, it'll
Mm-hmm.
sound better to me.
Okay.
But just like reading something, everybody gets something different out of reading, you know.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
if this is a thought that I had and I'm writing it down, I know that this was my thought,
Uh-huh.
and I have to do something about that thought.
Okay.
Um, I have been through times where I just got off the meds,
Mm-hmm.
just straight, just didn't want them, didn't like how they made me feel. My mouth was excessively dry all the time, and I didn't want anymore. So that ended up in me being going to Grace in Galveston.
Okay.
Uh, I had a break. I had a break, and I had to stay there. Well, usually it would be the 72 hours, but
Oh,
I
okay.
had to stay a little longer
Okay.
until they got me situated on some different medication.
Okay.
Um, I don't feel like my depression and my illness
Mm-hmm.
with my depression, I don't feel like I used to feel like I was out of tune. I used to feel like I didn't fit. I used to feel like I was out of bounds. I just felt like I was sitting there, but I was way far away from everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because that's sometimes I would let my thoughts gravitate like that, just so I could uh, be able to sit still without messing with stuff, and doing little things.
Yeah, being
And
fidgety.
it's being fidgety, and it's been hard because I've had people ask me, "Well, what's going on with you, Chrystal? What's wrong with you? Why and I tell them I'm just having a bad day,
Mm-hmm.
you
Well,
know. But
I
I'm
I'm,
listening.
I'm going to interject here for a minute because I've got some
Hmm.
questions for you
Okay.
that the viewers are asking. So the first
Okay.
one is, well, Cheryl is just speaking to you, letting you know that she's watching the watching the
Hey.
interview. And then we have a question here. It says, "What was the disorder name again? You had named some disorders, and the viewer didn't understand what
Oh,
disorder."
I'm sorry. Okay. Agitated major depression,
Okay,
agoraphobia. Agoraphobia is when you scared when you don't want to leave the house,
okay.
but you just want to stay in and confine yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, but God put people in your realm and in your existence
Mm-hmm.
to help you, and you're one of them, and my Trinity family, sisters and everything,
Mm-hmm.
to help me get up out of that.
Mm-hmm.
I also suffer with paranoid schizophrenia,
Okay. Okay.
and yeah.
Okay. Another question from a viewer is, how
Mhm.
was your illness detected? How was your
Uh,
illness
uh,
detected?
they actually, when they got me into the clinic at mental health and mental retardation right here on by the high school in Lamar.
1765. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did a lot of tests to see, a lot of they do a lot of questions, and a lot of the questions and Q&As or basically the same thing that they saying to you over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people gonna get agitated because I know I did.
Okay.
You asking me the same thing, but switching it around, but you're
Mm-hmm.
asking me the same thing.
Okay.
So they knew that I was that far to know that I'm being told the same thing, ask the same thing.
Okay.
They do a series of blood tests
Hmm.
and MRIs and everything, and then eventually they found out that I had a pituitary adenoma tumor.
Okay. Okay. Um,
So that was something.
the I have a question, a few things that I want you to touch on this
Okay.
interview, and
Uh-huh.
because with the pandemic, and me and you talk about
Uh-huh.
this all the time, and I see that question coming up from the viewers on
Mm-hmm.
the age of
Mm-hmm.
a child, and how can parents notice what signs are there for parents might need to look for, in what age do they need to start looking for those signs, because a lot of times people say, oh, he just bad boy, or that girl just bad, or she being fast, the things that people say, but it could
Mm-hmm.
actually be right that they're expressing some
They're
signs of
expressing
depression.
they're expressing some anger issues and depression that they have.
Mm-hmm.
I was 11
Mm-hmm.
when like I said, my mom saw what was going on and everything, but I never got any help until I was in my late 20s. So
So you started at what age did they notice it?
11,
11.
11.
Okay. Okay.
And the thing about it is, you know your child
Mm-hmm.
or your grandchild or
Uh-huh.
your little nephew or niece or whatever. A lot of explosive things come out of them. They're
Mm-hmm.
real angry, and then they sometimes they feel like it's only them. It's
Uh-huh.
nobody else in the world. I don't care if they have other kids or whatever. They just feel like it's only them. It's all about them. I don't, I had two sisters
Uh-huh.
at the house,
Okay.
and I would take care of them, and it was like it was nothing. You know what I'm saying? But at night, or I
Mm-hmm.
had my moment, it was hard. It was hard not knowing what was going on with me and why I had thoughts of I even had thoughts of hurting. myself, and I did do that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
Uh, that came with it. I just felt like the devil was on top of me, and he was making me do what he wanted me to do,
Okay.
and I that's the best way I could explain it as far as how I felt like he was consuming me, he was smothering me, he was, you know, he
Consuming
was out
your
to get
life. Basically
my life.
consuming your life.
Right.
Another viewer is asking a question of, did your illness ruin any worthy relationships? Did your illness ruin any worthy relationships?
Yes.
They
Do they
did.
mean with a spouse, or do they mean with my parents, or do they mean
They didn't target it. It's just
uh,
a broad question. So what I'm going to take it is
well,
just all across the board relationships
okay,
that could have been
okay.
ruined. Okay.
Um, well, I could have, I had a daughter at 17, and everything, and I was with her dad for a while, but he was older than me. So, he did what he did, because he was older, and I had to stay there, with the baby.
Mm-hmm.
But we weren't we weren't the only thing we had in common was the fact that we had a beautiful daughter,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Okay.
That I think the age difference had something to do with that.
Okay.
By him being older than me.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of friendships have been also ruined because I hear things and I'm told that I didn't hear it, and I
Okay.
know I
That you.
know I heard. I
It,
know what I heard.
yes.
That
Yes.
gets into the bracket too because they always say, "Oh, she crazy." You don't
Yeah.
pay her no mind. She crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that no one wants somebody to say about them. That is a
Mm-hmm.
very hurting feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I did have relationships ruined because we were too different,
Mm-hmm.
and I just decided not to just stay in that and really linger the relationship on.
Mm-hmm. And I have another viewer who's saying that she knows exactly what you're talking about because she's gone through the same thing. And
Hmm.
what the and the other viewer says she was talking about any relationship. So thank you for speaking on just a
Yeah.
variety. What is happening right now, Crystal, because of the pandemic? I have a huge
Hmm.
concern, along with other
Hmm.
people,
Hmm.
about the impact, long term
Hmm.
impact that it's going to have on school age children. And I feel
Hmm.
like uh, the parents to these children have got to start sitting down and talking to
They
these
have to.
children on how this pandemic is making
Hmm.
them feel, because eventually they're going to gravitate back into a larger school setting. And what I'm asking you on tonight to elaborate on your views on how this pandemic is relative to this topic you're discussing tonight on depression, because I know for a fact people have a huge concern about their children because they're now acting out in ways that they once did not. Could
Yes.
you kind of share with us your views about that?
Well, this pandemic really has affected everyone. But
Okay.
by us being older,
Mhm.
we can come to grips with it a little better. But when
Mhm.
you have little children that are used to going to school, playing with
Okay.
their friends,
Yes.
going to their friend's house and having sleepovers and all that, and then you have to tell that child no.
Okay.
This child is gonna go into a whole big uproar because everything is changing.
Mhm.
Everything is revolving and it's going the other way.
Mhm.
It's not
Okay.
going. It's not going. It's not going around.
Okay.
It's going the opposite direction.
Okay.
So you have to really watch your kids and talk with them and
Okay.
ask them questions about how they feeling, because I just I know that my mother and my father did the best that they could,
Uh huh.
but I had some underlying conditions going on in my brain and stuff, so it was a little harder for me,
Okay.
you
Okay.
know.
Okay.
But kids are going to be kids. Kids want to get out. They want to run around. They want to do this and they want to do that. But by you having them in one household
Uh huh.
and they're all there together and they can't go anywhere, you're going to have to try to find some boundaries, because there's going to be a lot of arguing and bickering, and then,
Mhm.
and then that, before you know it, the whole house is in an uproar.
Yes.
She hit me, or
Yeah.
they're going to act differently because of the pandemic. But you need to watch what I'm going to say to the parents and those that are in charge of children.
Mhm.
Please watch out for different signs that a child may have, as far as that's something that's not usual. It's
Okay.
something that you've been noticing that it's been happening and reoccurring.
Mhm.
You have to watch it, because if it gets too far,
Okay. Okay.
you don't want anything to get too far. And I know too far, because I
Mhm.
stopped taking my medicine. So that right there was going too far.
And that
But you have to watch it.
that with the medication is so
Hmm.
important because I noticed, like I've heard people say, well, they're gonna put them on Ritalin. That's at a younger age, right? The Ritalin.
Well, they have some that young, that they start on the rhythm, but they have to keep up the the regiment as they
Mhm.
get older.
Mhm.
They have to keep that rhythm up as they get older. That was something that my paperwork says, that I'm very intelligent and everything,
Mhm.
but it's just the point of a meltdown that I just can't proceed,
Mhm.
because if it was, I just go and close up in my house and just have my meltdown, and then, okay, I'm better now, and
Yeah.
come out. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah.
It's
Um.
hard to explain.
Okay.
You got
Okay.
another question?
Yeah. One of the viewers, well, I got two viewers that let me share with you. Is one of the viewers are saying parents need to be aware when their children behavior changes. So that's what you're saying. She's trying to get confirmation on that.
Yes,
So that's what
yes.
you. Mhm.
Even if it's the smallest thing, even if it's just the smallest thing that's changed from the way they were acting a couple of days ago. It's
Mhm.
kind of like you have to take notes. And then you have to keep it tuned with they're on the computer now. That's
Mhm.
a lot of anxiety right there, for them to be on the computer and they used to be in the classroom. You
Mhm.
know, uh, you have to find things for them to do to
Mhm.
keep their attention, because one thing with depression, their attention span is very short.
It's short. Okay.
It's
Hmm.
very short.
Huh.
If you if nothing is jumping, then they looking all around like, what's going on around here? You know what I'm saying? And then they start acting out.
Okay.
You have to. It's different. There are different phobias that depressed people have also,
Okay.
and you have to realize, uh, look at the phobias, because some are spiders, some are snakes,
Mhm.
some are mice, some are just people. It's some people that they have phobia about.
Yeah.
But I found out
Oh, yeah.
that when something like that happens, it's real.
It is real. It is real. Okay.
It's real.
Okay, we got some more questions. I'm trying to get to these
Okay.
questions. Okay,
Okay.
so it said one of the viewers is saying that she was mistreated. That's
Mm-hmm.
how hers developed, because she was
Oh
mistreated,
my goodness.
and
Oh my goodness.
at this time, it's some very sick people in the
There
world.
are.
But
They
right
are.
now, she can't tell her story, but she will one day.
Okay.
I don't know
Okay.
what the story,
Um,
but
this is one thing, and it's a big step that she is a
it's a she. Uh huh.
she
Uh huh.
she has addressed this, and she knows that she was mistreated. And so she, by admitting that, that's a big step right there,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
But opening up to somebody, a complete stranger, and telling them things that's happened to you is hard. But
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn how to talk with my psychologist, and trust my psychologist, and my psychologist is there just, to help me, not to hurt me,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yes.
But I really appreciate the viewer for saying that, and I really hope that she gets the strength that she needs
Mm-hmm.
to tell her story.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of touchy,
Yeah. Take your time.
but I
Take your
really
time.
hope that she gets the strength to tell her story, because I
Yes.
know
Yeah.
it's a story in itself.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's a
This
story.
is a hard subject, and I can tell by the chat section, like I was telling you, people are really concerned about depression, not only with their children. I'm getting ready to ask you, to give you some more questions I have here. They're coming so fast. So,
Okay.
okay, it's not just their children, it's adults too. Because when you
Uh huh.
look at it, people have been hurt over the years. And sometimes
Hmm.
that hurt is hidden because it's just like you said earlier. People don't want to be deemed as
Uh,
crazy. I'm not
no,
crazy. I'm just trying to deal and get a
uh,
grasp
that's it.
of what
That's
happened
it.
to me. Because many
Yeah.
years we were told for many what happens in the house stays in the house.
Thank you.
And if you
Yes.
told
Yes.
it, you got a butt whooping. And
You
that's
got
just
a, yes, you got a book. Yes, you
it.
did.
So I'm gonna move on because you keep getting more and
Okay.
more
Time
questions.
run out.
Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so here we've got the viewers. We've got. Were you afraid that your children would inherit your illness, and is it genetic? That's.
Yes. Yes. It is. It can be genetic. In my case, it is. My youngest is suffers with schizophrenia and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and it it, it it's very very genetic.
Okay.
I only have two children,
Mm-hmm.
and my baby is she suffers with it. She's been diagnosed,
Mm-hmm.
but she doesn't want the medication. So
Without that medication, though, what I hear you saying is that you can't get balance, right? You can't balance
yeah,
out.
it's a chemical imbalance that you have,
Mm-hmm.
and unless you have the regimen, if you won't be balanced. You'll be like off kilter. It'll be
Mm-hmm.
like you walking up a hill
Mm-hmm.
and you're never gonna come, walk down.
Okay.
It's a hard pill to swallow, but if
Mm-hmm.
that pill is gonna help you to get more movement in your life, more
Uh-huh.
active in the community, more closer to your family, because that's one thing that I did. I left my family alone. They haven't done anything. They never did it. They never did anything to me. I
Yeah.
just felt like I didn't belong.
And depression makes you feel that way.
Yes.
Okay. Hmm. This is so good what you're talking on tonight. Okay. I have another viewer that says,
Okay.
"Thanks for your speaking out about your triumph over depression. Uh, because there are countless others
Huh.
who haven't nor even will be diagnosed because of
Yes.
stigmas surrounding
Yes.
this type illness, especially amongst African Americans. And that
African
I
American.
want you to talk on that, because that's all of this is this chat section is so
Yeah.
powerful, and I know how you can get emotional about it,
Yes,
because
yes,
what this viewer is saying, um, Chrystal, it takes a lot to come out and speak on a platform that can be viewed across this world. This
mhm,
can be viewed across this world, um, and into other countries, because
yes.
depression just does not only live in the United States of America.
No, it's
Depression
everywhere.
is
It's
everywhere. But like this
everywhere.
viewer is saying, and I want you to kind of elaborate on it, the African Americans, why
Hmm.
is it that they wanted to remain so contained within the African American community, and and people are turning to other outlets and sources to try to deal with it? Can you just share with us your views about that?
Okay. Uh, okay. That is a very good question. One thing about denial.
Mm-hmm.
Denial is something that can eat you up
Mm-hmm.
from top of your head to the bottom of your feet
Okay.
by not knowing, but you're not getting the help. Knowing
Mm-hmm.
that you have it and have something going on with you and going and finding out what's going on
Mm-hmm.
is that's two different issues.
Okay.
But African American people back in the day, they would not like mental retardation.
Uh-huh.
They never wanted this to, come out. They kept that child confined. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Yes.
Uh, and now with this mental health, it does not need to be confined. It needs to be contained.
Okay.
It
Okay.
needs to be contained. We need to step up and help each other when we
Mm-hmm.
see things that's going on with them and everything. And our families, can help and everything because this is something that's not made to play with. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, and that's what it says, and that's a true story.
Yes.
Because these things can eat up your mind, not
Uh-huh.
only your mind,
Yes.
your heart.
Yes.
And I just want the viewers to, if you have any kind of feelings of a child or
Mm-hmm.
someone in your family or a grandchild or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
just sit the child down and talk to the child and just get some kind of comfort in what's going on, and then go on to get them some help because the help is out there.
do do you feel or as though that's why there's an uptick in drug usage and alcoholism and uh, promiscuous moments of
Yes, yes,
relationships at
yes,
such an early age? That
yes.
do you feel or believe that the reason then is because they're trying to find a way to put a band-aid over the pain?
Band-aid. Yes, yes. And another thing is uh, with the chemical imbalance, that's how drugs get into play
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like the drugs will balance you out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And drugs would not balance you out. It's just gonna take away that feeling for a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna come back three times harder.
Mm-hmm.
Been there, done that. Write a book about it.
Okay.
Okay. And also, what else did you say? The last thing that you said.
uh, when I was talking about the drug usage, the
Uh
alcohol
huh.
usage, and getting
Alcoholism.
into
Yes.
just promiscuous sexual activities, multiple sexual partners,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
do
Yes.
you know?
This is here it is. Here it is right here. When you're diagnosed with schizophrenia or bipolarism or anything, it's something in the hormones.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you more susceptible to want sex,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and that's something, you know. Hey, If you have a young girl and she's like that, and you feel like she has some mental health issues, they need to get straight on that, because the older they get, the
Uh-huh.
more the hormones start raging inside of them.
Okay, okay.
So it,
So
that's
they
it.
so they end up in a lot of unhealthy and
Unhealthy,
abusive
sexual thing.
relationships.
Yeah,
Oh,
yes. Just
this
wanting acceptance.
okay,
Just
okay,
wanted to be accepted. You
okay.
know.
Yes, yes. We got more questions for you. So,
Oh
okay.
wow.
So, one of the viewers said, yes, thank you so much, Miss Beard. I can name an exact incident that happened when I was 5 years old, that
5 years
started
old.
my depression. Depression is real.
Mm-hmm.
This viewer was
Mm-hmm.
5 years old.
5 years old, and can remember that,
So you never
because it's
forget
something
it.
you never forget it. You will never forget it.
Mm. So the depression, she said it's real. That's where it started.
Yeah.
And
And if she didn't get any help, that and when you're that small and they're not attending to what's going on, then it goes on and on and on, and it gets worse.
so someone said, one of you said, yes, drugs and alcohol really didn't help.
Yeah.
And that she's trying to deal with it, but in the wrong way. She's admitting she's
And the
trying
wrong
to
thing.
deal with it, but
Yes.
she. What advice would you what advice would you have for her if she's dealing with her depression in the wrong way? What advice would you give the viewer?
Well, I would like to tell the viewer that you're not alone. There are millions of us out here
Mm-hmm.
that are going through the same thing, or have been through it, or about to go through it. But one thing, if the drugs, if you got on the drugs, get off the drugs,
Okay.
because people are going to take more advantage of you on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, they're going to see you as a totally different person when you're using drugs, versus I'm a mentally ill person and I
Okay.
need help.
Yes. So
They're
they'll
gonna
take
they're gonna
advantage.
just react.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Oh wait.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So this is why, and I'm going to have a young lady's going to come on and be talking about human trafficking,
Okay,
and I want to roll that
okay.
into this discussion because that's kind of where maybe some of this human trafficking is coming from
Yeah,
with these young girls, because
from weak mind,
they're
from weak
lacking
mind.
something. Okay.
Yeah, from the mind being weak, or just going too far, and then their bodies, they use their body as a tool, and it's a lot of it going on,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really bad for this to be going on in our town, in our city, in our
Mm-hmm.
community, and
Mm-hmm.
we really need to hold each other hands and build each other up,
Mm-hmm.
because you never know what situation you might be in. You
Yes.
never know.
Never know.
Never
More
know.
questions. Okay.
Okay.
One of the viewers said that she was trying to get a quick fix, even so she knows what you're saying.
Hmm.
And then another viewer says wanting to be loved, and you've addressed that
Hmm.
they're wanting to be
Hmm.
loved. And then another
Hmm.
viewer says, "Amen, Miss Beard. I have a close relative who
Hmm.
desperately needs to seek help for PTSD, yet
Oh
is
my.
too embarrassed to admit that the issue is even existent. Sadly, it destroys relationships due to pride."
Hmm.
Could you
Yeah.
elaborate on that? Because of the embarrassment.
Well, well, yeah. Uh, I don't think anybody just wants somebody to say, "Hey, my name is Chrystal. I suffer with depression. I suffer with this type of depression. I take this many pills. I take that many pills. Whatever." When you say something like that, that person is gonna be, their eyes are gonna be so bucked, like, "Oh my God," you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Right.
but they're gonna treat you differently. You will be treated differently once you find once you uh know that what you have going on with you. You will be treated differently. People are going to talk about you. People are going to label you. People are going to do you any kind of way, but God,
Yes. Yes.
but
Yes.
God, because you never know
Uh huh.
what your another person's mind might go through that's familiar with what you were going through.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But PTSD
Yeah.
uh,
Yes.
is something that will make them either hurt somebody
Mm-hmm.
or themselves.
Oh we.
PTSD is something that you didn't even, I guess they sometimes, like here lately, you don't even have to go to the service of any kind to have PTSD. It could be
Mm-mm.
something that happened to them that's very traumatic in their
Yes.
life that
Yes.
made them have PTSD. So that's another touchy subject too is PTSD because people don't want to talk about stuff. People don't want
They
to
don't.
address things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad. We
Yes.
in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
We in 2021. We
Yes.
got to do something about this because if we don't do something about this, people are going to start hurting themselves
Mm-hmm.
and or other people, and it's not going to be no good.
One of the things that's been shared with me by younger people is that I notice more younger people are becoming cutters, where they cut themselves.
Others, yes.
And can you elaborate a little bit on that with us? My
Well, a cutter that's a person that goes through the problems, but they can't follow through the problems. So they use their self.
oh
So they
okay.
take the razor or the knife and they cut. Some cut right across,
Uh
some
huh.
cut up higher, some cut their thighs. Yeah,
Oh
it's
wait.
real. And you never notice because a lot of times they wear jackets or long sleeve shirts
Uh
to
huh.
hide it.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, that cutting is something that's not, oh, it's
Mm.
not good.
No, and I do
Not
see
good at all.
a lot of young, I'm going to say young girls more than anything. I see the cutting.
Mm-hmm.
And this, what you're talking about on tonight, like I said earlier, you know, it takes a brave person to step out and talk on such a subject. And everybody that's been on here tonight is just thankful that you came on and addressed this subject. Because sometimes, Crystal, what happens is we get so prideful. We want everybody to think, oh, my life is just wonderful. Oh, I don't worry about that stuff. And it's not true.
Yeah.
Because depression, and I know that you know this, it crosses
Mm-hmm.
every socioeconomic
Every, every,
background, every
yes,
cultural, it's everywhere. It,
everywhere.
it's like the pandemic. It has no
Yes.
boundaries.
There it is. There it is. Just
And
like the pandemic, and without any answering questions and going into these young people's minds and all that,
mhm,
that's what it's gonna end up being.
they don't talk to
Everybody want
them.
to kill you if they don't talk to them. You have to have them open up. You have to find something where they open up to
Hmm.
you about
Yes.
it. Because the longer it goes on, the worse it's gonna get.
Mm. You mentioned something earlier when because my technical director said, remember she was telling us behind the scenes that about this being treated, depression being treated like the pandemic, and
Like the
listening
pandemic.
to you guys talk, and then listening to you on here on today and seeing the feedback. I see how important this subject is, and people are sitting silent
Mm-hmm.
because they're embarrassed. They're going
Yeah.
to be deemed as being crazy because that's what people say about you as soon as you say it.
That's what they say.
And, and then a word that stuck with me early on in the conversation when you opened up was negativity. Tell me how important that is for a person not to put themselves in such a setting of negativity?
Well, it's hard because a lot of times we just want acceptance. So when you get into a crowd of people or a gathering or whatever, people can be so cruel.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, just because you're not like them or
Mm-hmm.
you don't like some of the same things that they like, or somebody then whispered in their ear and told them that you have some mental health issues.
Uh-huh.
Uh, like I said earlier, once you put that on the plate,
Mm-hmm.
that it's not really taking that back because people are going to remember that. They're going to
Mm-hmm.
chew on that. They're going to chomp on that. They're going to try to use that. And the next thing you know, your mind is all plugged up like you want to do something to yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes. Mm.
So
Well,
all
this.
I can say is God is large and in charge.
Uh-huh.
And
Yes.
he has his foot soldiers that will be there for you. So if there
Yes.
anybody's going through a problem, just call on him because he's the only person
Mm-hmm.
that can clear your mind and your heart.
Yes. Well,
Just stay on.
I am so excited about you coming on. I think I am so thankful that you agreed to come on this podcast, and I would love to have you to come back and
Okay.
just talk about any other passions that you may have to share with this
Okay.
audience, because this audience
Okay.
will ask questions, and that's the beauty
Yes.
of it, because what you are saying is making such a difference in the lives of so many people, even people that may not be commenting in the chat box, but they're
Mm.
watching what you are
So
saying,
much.
because
Yes.
you know, people are looking for answers. People are looking
Yes.
for people who want to come out and tell and speak on the truth about things in life. Because if it's
Genuine.
happening to you, it's happening to somebody else. And we have got to stop judging people and putting people in boxes
Yeah.
and stigmatizing
Yeah.
people so that people will
Yes.
feel good about coming out. And again, this podcast, specifically the philosophy behind it, is to
Mhm.
have a foundation. Well, people,
Yes.
everyday people, can come on and tell their stories and share their passions and
Yes.
reach out into the world, because
Yes.
celebrities get to do it because they're celebrities. This
Hmm.
platform, prayerfully, more people will want
Yes.
to come on and just
Yes.
share their passion. It's nothing to be afraid of, because you're
No.
talking to the world. You're just being interviewed
Yes.
by little old me. But
I want to thank you for the opportunity as being, my mentor, my shero, my just my friend, my this the most amazing woman I've ever met in my life. I
thank
just want to thank you because you are one of the people that I rely on and that will get me up and out and let's go
you.
and it's easy.
You are
It's
so
very
welcome.
easy.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for that. I think we do that for each other.
Yeah,
But before we
yeah.
go off, we have some people who are really, several other viewers want you to know that they love you, uh, that they thank you for coming out. Truly thank you for coming out and sharing this and giving insight. So you alone, just within this 50 minutes, have touched lives. And your story will continue to touch lives. But know this, you are always welcome to come back on this podcast. And I'd love to hear from you again. All right?
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
All right. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye.